Hello, and welcome to Anime Territory.
Season 2, baby!
I'm your host this week, Benjamin Shabbing. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Johnny, Season 2 Ruha.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take that away from you.
I lost my train of thought, so I paused for a second, and then you just took my joke.
Yep. I mean, seasons don't really matter, but when I upload this to Anchor, instead of saying Season 1, I'm going to say Season 2 now. So, episode 33!
We officially got renewed.
Yeah, by ourselves. We decided to keep doing it. We've had, at this point, because we just stocked up like 2 more episodes. At this point, we're well over a year's worth of episodes out.
Oh, yeah, we were.
So, 26 would have been a year's worth of episodes. And this is episode 33-ish. So,
Depends on when we release it.
Yeah, it might be a special, or who knows.
Depends on how it goes. But this episode's going to be different. Instead of reviewing one anime, we're kind of just going to give our general thoughts, overviews,
performance review.
Yeah, of the animes we've watched so far this season. Last season.
Last season, yeah. It's sort of like our award show, but specifically only for shows that we watched.
Yes.
As part of the show.
So we got different categories. We're going to go through them. Just discuss what we thought about some of the shows and our picks for those specific categories. The question is, what category do we start with?
The category I have up at the top, because I was running out of space down at the bottom, is best movie that we watched.
Okay, we can start with best movie.
And I would say we should end with best favorite anime we watched. Let's end with that one.
I figured we'd finish with favorite anime.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll start with best movie. So we've watched quite a few movies.
Quite a few good movies, too.
Yeah, we don't really pick bad movies. If we're going to do them...
Frag Time was the worst movie?
I guess.
Digimon movie is the worst movie?
Those are probably your 2 weakest.
Yeah.
We have watched.
Though I love the Digimon movie. But I thought... I've got 3 things up here for best movie. One of them is definitely my favorite of the movies that we watched. But as far as like physically the best movie that we watched. So I've got not my favorite, but possibly the best movies that we watched. Wolf Children and Tokyo Godfathers are up there.
Okay.
Did those make your list whatsoever?
Yes.
Okay. And then best movie we watched, I have Whisper at the Heart is my favorite of the movies we watched.
Okay. That's the third one I have. I didn't really rank them. I just wrote them down.
So we have the exact same 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I kind of figured that flipping through. Like, Ride Your Wave is great. Frag Time was interesting.
Yeah.
The Digimon movie was fun. And Summer Wars is a classic. But if we're going to the best movies that we watched, then as part of the show, Whisper of the Heart, Tokyo Godfathers, Wolf Children are definitely up there. So
Whisper of the Heart is your favorite?
I think so. Again, now, best, different question than favorite.
Okay.
But like Whisper of the Heart is on my list of 10 favorite anime movies that I don't have ranked in order.
Okay.
But these other 2 movies are not. But they are very good movies. So
Gotcha. I think my favorite of those movies would be Tokyo Godfathers.
Okay. That's fair. That is a wild ride, that movie.
The movie's great. It's like a great adventure movie, kind of, I think.
Yeah. So I'm going to watch it again when Christmas comes around. That's for sure. Might try to get my parents to watch it.
Ooh, I don't know.
It's a very, very interesting movie.
Yeah. Because like Whisper of the Heart's just a great kind of coming of age, finding yourself type of movie. Wolf Children's kind of the same, a little different. It's just more like a grow up.
Yeah.
Struggles of
what we call it, chunk of life. It wasn't just a slice; it was a chunk.
Yeah,
it's a couple of slices of life.
Very beautiful, very sad.
Yeah, but in a nice way.
Yeah.
It's not a sad. I mean, it's a sad ending, but it's not a heartbreaking ending.
Yeah, I saw it more like in the middle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I think just Tokyo Godfather is just that great blend of beautiful animation and just a fun. Not relatable. That's not the right word.
It's not relatable, at least not to us.
I can't think of the word. It's just a fan.
touches you.
Yeah.
You feel it. It gets to you. It's heart-wrenching. But ultimately happy.
Yeah. Probably the best well-rounded movie of those three, I would say.
Yeah. I get you. Again, that's why I distinguish favorite and best. Mm-hmm. So, like, Whisper of the Heart has got a place in my heart.
So you would say best is Whisper of the Heart?
No, I'd say favorite is Whisper of the Heart. I can't pick a best.
Okay.
But it's probably not Whisper of the Heart.
So my favorite, I'll probably go Tokyo Godfathers.
Okay.
Of those three.
Yeah. There are other movies out there I like better. So. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just go with what I have written down then. My next category was Ship of the Year.
Ship of the Year. I've got 2 contenders. I think I know what one of the contenders that you have is. So I'm going to try to say, I'm going to say that one first. And that is Sakata and Mai from Bunny Girl Senpai.
That's one of them.
Okay, what else do you got?
I wrote down Nagatoro and Senpai.
Okay.
I forgot about Dress Up Darling. That's a good one too. Anyways, I put Ines and Pharaoh from Baccano.
Oh, you put Ines and Pharaoh.
Yeah. I don't know. I just really love that. There's not much in that show, but just like their one interaction, you're like, oh yeah.
Oh, there's a spark here. Yeah. I get you. That's a good ship. I also have my second ship of the year is a Baccano ship, but it is not Ines and Pharaoh. It's Isaac and Miria.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, that's a really good ship. It's just that spark that the Ines and Pharaoh had. Ines, sorry.
Pharaoh. It's Pharaoh.
Oh, whatever.
F-I-R-O, and it's most certainly pronounced Pharaoh.
I wrote down F-A-R-O.
That's not his name.
Oh.
It's definitely F-I-R-O. F-I-R-O. It's definitely Pharaoh. Pharaoh Procenezo, or something like that. I probably got the last name wrong, but...
Okay, and I wrote down a 4th one. Can you guess it?
Okay, so you already did Senpai and Nagatoro. You did Ines and Pharaoh, and you did Sakata and Mai. You have that list of all the shows that we watched, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna steal it for a second.
Well, you're gonna look at it.
I'm just gonna look at the list of the shows.
This is one of I have. What do you call that? Campaign for that you don't like or you don't agree with, I guess.
Sorry if I'm quiet. This makes great audio.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you can cut around it.
I don't know. You're just gonna have to tell me.
It's Kaori and Jingasuki from Tatami Galaxy.
That's the. Who are those people?
It's Van Wilder, that character, and the doll.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm like, I don't remember those character names. Character names are so hard to remember.
That's true.
Well, man, I'm not going to talk about it. I can't go into that discussion with you again. I don't even remember what my side of the discussion was, but the guy is just fucking a doll, man.
He treats her right. He loves her. I'm all for it.
Okay.
But I would say the best one is definitely Sakura and Mai.
Okay. I'm going Isaac and Miria. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They're phenomenal. They are relationship goals.
Robbing banks, trains,
stealing from the mafia,
accidentally becoming
immortal and not realizing it for like 50 years, 70 years. Like, hey, wait a minute, we haven't aged.
You just want to become Bonnie and Clyde, like a oblivious Bonnie and Clyde, I guess. They have more heart than that. They make friends easy. I love them. I love them so much. Okay. So your ship of the year is Miria and
Isaac.
Mine is Sakata and Mai from Bunny Girls.
And Sakata and Mai is my runner-up. So okay. I had to throw them up there. So.
All right. Let's go with. We'll do worst boy.
Worst boy. I have one worst boy.
Okay.
So name off some of your honorable mentions.
I wrote down 3. I'm going to save my one of them, though. Because it's a weird one. Mine are Yano from Odd Taxi.
Okay.
I just don't like him because...
Gotcha. I know who he is.
And then it has to be Kazuma from Konosuba just because of his perviness.
See, but that's... He's a degenerate, but that's not the worst boy in my mind. Worst boy is just like, God, I cannot stand this character.
Okay. See, with Kazuma, it wasn't more like, I don't like him. It's just more like, he's a degenerate.
I get you. I thought about that. I'm like, but I counted that as like, okay. That's like he's the worst in a sort of lovable way. Like, that scoundrel. That's
kind of how I took this category, I think. Except for Yano. If I had to pick, like, who I hated the most, it's probably Yano.
Okay. So I have one person listed as worst boy. Okay. And it's that dragon that goes house hunting. I fucking hate him. It's like, you're a dragon! Be better. Make this show better.
Yeah. So, my third listing was Larusso.
What? Bakano. Okay.
I also wrote down, he's also the best boy, though.
Okay. I'm like, yeah, you definitely took this category in a completely different direction than me. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, I was going to pick, like, bland, whatever people, and then I decided, nah, fuck that. That dragon.
Okay. No, I took it as more like, who's just the worst?
So your real answer would be, like, Yano, I guess, of those. Taking it the way I did. If you're taking it, like... Yeah. Rascals, mm-hmm. Then I have to throw Sakata in there because he is the titular rascal, and Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Yeah,
Kazuma and Lad Russo. So, Lad Russo taking the cake as most rascal.
I'm just looking at the list. See if there's any person I would think is the worst.
It's just like, who, when they're on screen, can you not stand?
Who? I don't think there's anybody that I can see. I don't like Lelouch.
Oh, you know who needs to go in that worst, or that rascal category?
Who?
Ozu from Tatami Galaxy, the friend.
Okay. I was contemplating him, but I'm like, nah.
Oh, no, he's the embodiment of that.
Well, I was originally thinking it as what you were thinking, like who's the absolute worst. I was thinking of him, but it's like, nah, he's
lovable. Yeah, that's why I didn't go that direction.
If you're going the way I did with the other ones, then yeah, I would put Ozu. Is that his name?
Yeah, Ozu.
Okay,
I think that's what I had written down. I would also go. We mentioned this off mic, but the guy that tries to date, it's not Futaba. It's what's the name of the girl in Bunny Girl Senpai that's the Laplace's demon?
I'll just call her Laplace's
Koga.
demon.
Koga.
Okay.
The guy who tries to date Koga and like is spreading rumors about them. Okay. I don't like him either.
Gotcha.
And then there's like bland MCs, like the main character of Rail Wars is whatever.
Probably Devil's a part-timer main character, maybe.
Satan?
Yeah. I don't remember much about him.
I mean, he's Satan. I think it's just been a while since you've seen the Devil as a part-timer. He's fine. He's more rascal than bland, I think.
What about Davis from Digimon the Movie?
Okay, yeah, Davis would fall into that category. I think Davis takes some time to grow on you.
Yeah.
And then he undoes some of the work that he's built up every once in a while, and you're like, okay.
You're just like, okay, I get I get who you are and what you're doing. It's just, can you take it down a notch?
Yeah, it's like, why do we have to have you as like the main character?
Can you just like take it down just like to 9?
Yeah. Which, to be fair, some of that I think is partially added to the dub. Like a lot of him, like being obsessed with Kari is like the dub adding stuff. Like it's definitely there in the sub, but it's way more subdued. Whereas like this one is sort of like a Kari, I'm into you, and Kari's like, nope, don't care. The other one is more like Kari doesn't know that he's into him. It's not as vocalized. It's more internal.
Gotcha.
From what I read once somewhere on the internet. Don't know how true that is. I refuse to watch the Digimon sub. I refuse.
But yeah, so for worst boy, I would say Tiano, just because he's a bad guy, and also I just think he's really annoying.
Yeah, I get you. I think it'd be different if we spoke Japanese and we could actually like understand his raps and rhythms and stuff like that. Yeah. So,
but yours was who?
The dragon that goes house hunting.
Dragon goes house hunting.
Yep. Okay. That show's gonna show up again in another category.
Okay. I mean, it's not on the list, but I mean, we should probably might as well do best boy. I think the answer's obvious, though.
Best boy. Best boy.
I mean, I have mine.
I'm thinking it through. I don't know. What's your answer, Ben?
Yamabiko.
Oh, okay. Well, if I have to go for okay. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. Otherwise, I'd say something like Alucard.
Alucard. That makes sense. What's the main character's name in Eden of the East?
Eden of the East. That's a good question.
I like that guy.
Yeah, he's cool. That is Saki Morimi? That's a name I have written down, but I don't know. That might be a girl's name.
But I feel like he'd be in it. And then Sakura.
Sakura's up there for sure. Of course, I love Isaac, but it's more of a pair, Isaac and Miria.
Yeah. I mean, you could throw Lateruso in there. He's like Britta. He's the best, but also the worst.
Let's see. I like Kasuma too. And I like Gabumon.
Gabumon doesn't count.
What about Omnimon? Does he count?
Sure.
Okay.
He's yeah.
New worst boy is Diaboromon.
New worst boy. Okay, Diaboromon's worst boy.
Sure.
Okay. So from best boy, we'll do best girl.
I've got 3 listings here.
Okay, I got a feeling at least one of ours matches.
Do you have my Sakurajima?
Yes.
Okay. So my runner-ups are Megumi from Konosuba.
Oh, I forgot Megumi. Okay.
Yeah, she's great.
No, that's a great pick.
And then this one's the weird one. I had to look up her name.
Okay.
Which it's Aoi Sakurai.
That's from Rail Wars.
Yeah. It's a tsundere from Rail Wars.
That's a good choice.
that's my deep pick.
That wasn't my best girl in that show, but that's a good pick.
I'm like, yes, I need to jot her down because I remember adamantly defending her. She's great. I want more Rail Wars because of her.
Mm-hmm. I have my Sakurajima. I did Marin from Dress Up Darling.
Marin, however you want to say it.
And then Akashi from Tatami.
Okay. Yeah, she's pretty good too. Oh, she's great. Yeah. What am I talking about? She's great.
I think the only downside for her is that she's not quite in the show as much as you would want, I think.
That's true. She kind of takes a back seat in the middle when he's got like the 3 or 4 episode arc where he's talking about the 3 different timelines for the...
He's basically deciding which girl he wants to be with.
Yeah. And none of them are her, if I remember correctly.
No, but one ends up being her.
Yes. One of them was actually Ozu, but then in reality was her.
Yes.
So, That makes sense. That's right.
But those were my 3 choices. I would go with mine as being the best, though.
Let's see. Yeah, I can agree with that. Megami is great. And then Aoi Sakurai, I throw her out there because I'm like, I need a deep cut. I need a deep cut that's going to throw Ben off.
That's a good deep cut. I'm just looking to see if I have a deep cut real quick. I don't think so.
Other than like, I like both the girls and Sunny Boy, but I'm struggling to remember names.
He's really good from Princess Jellyfish.
Tsukimi.
I was close.
Yeah. What about the Baron for best boy?
Okay.
He's barely in it. What's the main girl, Whisper of the Heart's name? I didn't have it down in my notes.
Oh.
No, I do. Shizuku.
Yeah, Shizuku.
And Seiji's sort of a rascal, too. So throw him in the rascal category.
Okay.
We were just talking bullshit here.
It's okay. That's what we usually do.
But yeah, best girl, we agree. It's Mai Sakurajima. There's what as I said before we were recording. All girls are good, but not all. All anime girls deserve love, but not all anime boys do.
I think that's what you said. Yeah,
something along those lines. Mm-hmm. So I can appreciate any and all anime girls.
Okay, so
they're not real people. So
we'll go into. Let's talk about some of the episodes we did.
Yeah. You want to do your least favorite episodes first, so we can go up in favorite episodes?
So my least favorites they're both my least favorites basically for the same reason. It's Digimon the movie and Ping Pong. Just because I don't think we talked about them good enough.
I have Digimon the movie.
Okay.
That's one of mine. I just feel like there's a whole lot of like us apologizing for not liking it as much as we should.
Yeah. And
comparing it to Pokemon. And it's just kind of us floundering in it. Mm-hmm. And then the other one I put is our Kids on the Slope episode, which I love that anime, Kids on the Slope. But it was our second episode ever. I feel like we went downhill from where we were with our first episode being Konosuba.
Okay.
And I just feel like we didn't understand boys love enough. I don't know, that was... Yeah, because we did the rule of 3 with that.
Oh, okay.
Boys love anime. And it was, I feel like we just trashed it too much. I don't know. I didn't like how we handled that subject. So.
Gotcha. And then for Ping Pong, I just feel like we just didn't have enough to say. It was... First time I think we did it through Discord, so we didn't have that. We weren't familiar with that setup.
And it was the first time we had a guest too with Ben.
Yeah, I think so.
Ben's just I love Ben Feldick Pants, but he's just not as talkative a guy. So it's like I want him to talk, but that's not really his not his forte.
So
he's one of my best friends, but I feel like we weren't good hosts to accommodate him as a guest. So
yeah.
I feel like we could sort of meet halfway with like when we had Dylan or Brock on, and Joe I think did great in the Anime Awards and not so great in the Digimon episode, but again I think that was more on us.
Yeah.
So, those are my 2 least favorite episodes. So
I think there was another one I didn't like, but I don't remember which one. But
there's so many that I just feel like I don't know. But that part of that is just us being amateurs and perfectionists, but not capitalizing on that. Just feeling bad instead of trying to improve perfectionists.
Yeah.
But yeah. So least favorites. You can skip those ones or all of them. I know you're skipping all of them. It's fine.
Don't skip Ping Pong though. Watch that.
Watch the anime for sure. Watch a lot of the shows that we watched.
I feel like we're gonna talk about like our least favorite and like most disappointing, but for the most part, I think everything we've watched has been good.
Yeah, no, my least favorite and my most disappointing are ones that we didn't cover fully on the show.
Okay.
The ones that we did 3 episodes of. We sort of covered one of them fully, and I can get into that, but
okay. We'll go into some positives. What was your favorite episode we did?
I like our Sunny Boy episode, and I like our Anime Awards episode.
Okay.
Just because I think we had a lot of good things to say about Sunny Boy.
It's also our one episode that's over 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, we just we had we normally describe what happens in the show, and that kind of weighs down the discussion some. But in Sunny Boy, we're just we need to explain what's happening because it's very confusing, and we think we have it figured out.
We need to go in depth.
Yes. So I think we did a good job of that. And sure, it was long, but it was also it's our most successful episode yet.
That is true.
It is. Yeah, we had legitimate takes and things to talk about on it, as opposed to just describing what happens. It's we needed to describe what happens because it's confusing, and you're not for sure what's happening when you're watching it.
Yeah.
Watching it twice really put it together. It's also the only show we watched twice for the podcast. We needed to watch it another time.
We also wanted to.
Yeah.
I agree. Those are my two first ones. Crunchyroll Awards. I just think Joe was a great guest. He was able to talk about the shows that we didn't watch.
Yeah, we had those. We had another perspective coming in, and again, we weren't trapped by we have to fill up time. Let's describe what happens in the show.
Yeah.
We can just we have plenty of time because we got a lot to get through and plenty of shows to talk about. So
it would have been probably better if we would have watched more of the shows that were nominated. But I feel like for what we had. What we watched, I thought we did a good job.
And some of the shows are Attack on Titan final season. We'd have to watch so much before that, and but Joe was there. He'd seen that, I think. So
I think that show went really well. I wrote down a couple more. I put down the Remake Our Life episode.
Okay,
that's actually one of the ones I actually listened to after recording, and I thought we did a good job on it. For that one, I feel like because of how the show went, we had a lot to talk about in terms of our thoughts, actual analysis on it.
So, and where they're going in the future and all that. So
I thought we did a good job on that. And then Code Geass Season 1 I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Might have been 2, I don't remember. One of those 2 episodes I thought was really good.
Yeah. I like having Dylan on, but he's so busy that we cannot. Anytime that we have a chance to hang out with Dylan, it's going to be us playing D&D. So we play D&D about once a month at this point, if that. So, but yeah, that's those are solid picks.
But I think as a whole, all of our episodes have been pretty good. There's been a couple stinkers, but
there's been some stinkers earlier on, and we're sort of getting the hang of it now. I think so. Sort of. We just need to steer the conversation towards things that I can ramble about for a while. Like in the episode that hasn't released as of time of this recording, but we recorded yesterday, where I talk a lot about romance anime. That it's just I know a lot about this subject. I can actually talk about it, and I'm not reading off things or trying to make insights into things. It's no, I actually have
a good knowledge of this.
Good base knowledge of these things.
Okay, so let's go. We're going right through this. That's fine.
That's fine. So recap episode.
What was your most surprising animes?
Most surprising positive?
Yes.
Okay. I've got 3 written down. One of them I just recently wrote down as you were talking about it. Remake Our Life I think was surprising in that I liked it more than I thought I would.
Which one?
Remake Our Life.
Okay.
I just wrote that down as you were talking about it. I'm oh yeah, I did. I was surprised a little bit by Remake Our Life. There's a dog.
Yeah.
And he's got a...
Looks like it broke off his chain. It's fine.
Oh yeah, that's... Okay, I think somebody's coming. Okay. Sorry, listeners. There's a dog outside our window.
There's a dog in our park.
He's a good boy.
Driveway.
He's a good boy.
All right, new winner.
New winner is that dog.
That dog is best boy.
Okay. But the other ones I have are Rail Wars. I thought I had a lot more fun with it than I thought I was going to.
That was probably my number one most surprising. I really enjoyed Rail Wars. I didn't think it'd be good, but I had a lot of fun with it.
And this next most surprising when we first watched it, not when we eventually watched all of it. And that's Odd Taxi. So I really thought Odd Taxi was going to be something completely different than what it was.
Okay.
And, after watching the first 3 episodes of that, I'm like, oh, this is the vibe that it's going for. When we actually covered it on the show, not just the first 3 episodes of it, I knew what we were getting into at that point. But with the...
once we got into...
with the summer or spring preview when we watched it, it was like... I thought it was going to be weird animal characters, and each episode is sort of self-contained in a weird story that happens in some magical taxi. Yeah. And it's like, nope, it's...
a mystery.
It's a Quentin Tarantino crime thriller.
Yeah.
Mystery. It's great. It just happens to have animal people. So those are my 3 most surprising. In that Odd Taxi took a completely different direction.
Remake
Our Life and Rail Wars are just better than I expected.
Okay. Yeah, so Rail Wars is my first one. I also wrote down Eden of the East. I didn't know what I would think about that show. I ended up really liking it. I guess the one critique is it kind of gets... it's hard to keep track of when stuff happens in terms of like the movies and stuff. It's like, did that happen in that movie?
Oh yeah, when you're trying to think back on the timeline.
Yeah,
it's not like when you're watching the show. Are you trying to think? You're trying to think. Wait, what was in the show? What was in the first movie? What was in the second movie?
That might have just been how we watched it, because it's like
we watched them pretty
3
much
of
all
them
together.
all at the same time, and you're just like, wait, when did that happen? But as a whole, it's really fun comedy, mystery, crime-ish.
Yeah. It's I knew what I was getting into because I had seen the show, so I can't put that one down as surprising because I'd seen it like 6 years ago.
My other one is Yuru Camp, season 1. I'm usually not most surprising. I'm usually not into the cute girls doing cute things, but that show just hits.
But you had seen Yuru Camp before we watched it together.
Yes,
but you had only seen it like a month or 2 before, right? It wasn't like.
It wasn't too long because I basically watched it.
Because obviously you weren't surprised when we watched it because you'd already seen it.
Yeah.
Which was the argument I just made for why I wasn't surprised by.
Okay. I guess I was talking.
But I was like 8. It was 9 or 8 or 7 years ago that I watched.
So I probably watched You Camp in like January, and we recorded it in like March or April.
Yeah. It's just a couple months. Mm-hmm. So,
but I'm usually not into the cute girls doing cute things. But for some reason, that show it works. Yep. I guess just because it's camping. But
it's same. Maybe I should watch more cute girls doing cute things. But it's sometimes things just get so. It's just no stakes to it that you're like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
There's nothing like compelling me to keep watching this. Mm-hmm. So,
I did write down one more. It's Initial D. I didn't think I'd care at all about that show, but it's fun.
Oh, yeah. I knew what I was getting into with Initial D, because I watched the first episode again like 7 years ago. I'm like, this is what this show is. Cool. Because
I went in, it's like this weird, like, janky CGI racing show.
Why did we start watching Initial D? Because it was not as part of the podcast.
No, it's just we had nothing to watch, and you're like, we'll put on Initial D, I guess.
Okay, I guess it must
I think we were
have just
talking
been
about Deja Vu or something.
That, I think, was it.
Yeah.
I think that was it. The word Deja Vu came up in normal conversation, and I was just got Deja Vu stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to watch Initial D now. Okay.
And it was just really fun. I know nothing about that scene, but again, it's just... music was great, and when they talk about the, like... Yeah, it was just hype.
Yeah. Which I guess Burning Kabaddi could fall into that. Like, we like that a lot more than we...
Yeah, but that was more like guilty pleasure, I think. Surprising. Yeah. That's more like, I know what I'm getting into. This show's probably not going to be good, but I'm going to watch it anyways. Yeah. And it turned out to be better than I thought. But I wouldn't say surprising.
Yeah. So what's the next category we're covering?
We went from surprising. Let's go with disappointing.
Most disappointing. Okay, so this is a show that for the podcast we only watched 3 episodes of, but then for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards we finished.
Okay.
And that was 86. I just wasn't impressed with 86.
Okay. That one surprises me. I think it's a good show. I would say it's probably a little disappointing in terms of the hype that it had, but...
Yeah. It's just... It was solid. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I just didn't care for it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I get it.
And I felt so bad that Joe loved it. And it's just like, you really? We forced ourselves to watch all of it. And I really feel like force is the key word there. Like it's like we gotta watch the next episode. Like, you know, I wasn't ever like excited to watch it again.
I feel like I was intrigued, but I feel like it was something like I didn't have to finish if not for that episode idea that we had.
Yeah.
Like if we didn't do that episode, I probably wouldn't have finished it.
Yeah.
But again, it was fine.
What do you have? I only have 86 written down for most disappointing as far as the shows go. I feel like everything else that we chose, like, I knew I wouldn't like Dragon Ghost House Hunting. So, like, going into that, I knew I probably would not like it.
I wrote down 3. Devil the Part-Timer, I just didn't think was that great. I feel like a lot of people regard it as, like, a really good comedy. I just didn't really enjoy it that much. Code Geass, people consider it a classic. I would say it's good, not great. And then,
yeah, that's a controversial opinion, but I won't fight it.
And then Remake Our Life. It started out so good, and then just took a nosedive, and it's just disappointing on how well that show started out.
But it started to come back up towards the end. I felt like.
I don't know. I just completely lost it when that.
Yeah, when that change happens.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sure when you go and watch that, go and listen to our commentary on that. Commentary is not the right word. Go and listen to our podcast episode about that. I have similar things. It's just like, it just drops about halfway through because of something that they do. And I think it sort of starts to recover, and I want to see where it goes from there. But, like, I don't want it to turn into that thing happening again. And without spoilers, that's all I can really say. So, what else was...
Sorry, you're ready for the next category?
Can I choose the next category?
Sure.
So, most disappointing, and we talked about 86, a show we went back to and watched. Can we talk about the shows we said we'd come back to and we haven't come back to yet?
Sure, because I didn't write anything.
Okay. I want to watch more of Peach Boy Riverside.
Okay.
I want to watch more of The Detective Is Already Dead.
Okay.
And I want to watch more of What Are You Doing at the End of the World? Are You Busy? Will You Save Us? The show where the girls are leprechauns and he's the only human left or something.
That show was weird.
Yeah. And it had Scarberry Fair play. Which, on the time of our recording that episode, I was like, oh, that's a... is it... Simon and Garfunkel's song.
Oh, okay.
And then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, no, this... Simon and Garfunkel recorded a famous version of it, but it's like a really old song that they just did a cover of. So... But it's like, I am interested in watching more of that, and we never went back to it.
I don't know. Peach Boy Riverside just feels like it's too frenetic. Is frenetic the right word?
No.
There's just no structure to that. I just don't think it's going to be very good.
Yeah. I wanted to give it more of a shot. And then The Detective Is Already Dead definitely seems like something we would watch, and then we never went back to it.
Yeah. I think it's because the detective's already dead.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, I want that character.
Yeah. So we just got to, I don't know. I'll get around to them. I'll get around to some of those. At least one of those eventually. So. Those are shows. I promise. Okay. They're still in my maybe queue.
Gotcha. Did you have the best bit written down?
Best bit? I've got best segment.
What's the best segment?
I like when we play the My Anime List game, and I've got to try to describe a show. Okay. I think it kind of floundered out because I didn't do a very good job of it, but I think it's got potential. And then as far as like the naming of the segment and the consistency in which we do it, I like All Aboard / Ship of the Week, which we keep calling the wrong thing. We're supposed to call it All Aboard.
All Aboard?
And it's not... I don't know. I feel like that one and like Best Girl are ones that are consistent that we can talk about. And I just like playing the My Anime List game. I thought some of our other segments that we tried, like we spent too much time in our early episodes where we watched that 3 episodes of some random show, and it just took too long for us to get past those. That I think we could still do that, but it'd have to be. It's got to be like what we did for the last episode, release wise.
You spent way too long discussing or describing the shows that you watched.
Yeah.
Where I spent like 2 minutes.
Yeah, you spend no time at all like giving. It's like you're missing important details.
I don't need details. You need to give you plot.
But I like that sort of, I think, transition into like our spring preview, summer preview stuff, where here's our impressions of these shows, and we're free to talk spoilers for these first 3 episodes, and we don't have to worry about, well, we promised we'd talk about this show, and it takes 45 minutes to get to the discussion of that show. So, that segment is probably dead forever, but it lives on. It's been reborn as seasonal impressions that we may or may not release every season. Because we definitely skipped a season or 2. We didn't do winter.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I have for segments.
Okay. So, do you want to do least favorite animes so far?
Yes. I have one written down. Can you guess what it is?
It's probably one of the ones I've written down. Dragon Goes House Hunting.
That's it!
Yeah.
Of the shows we watched, that was definitely the most disappointing. Not most disappointing, because that's a different category. My least favorite show that we watched.
That is the least. Yeah, that is the worst thing we watched.
But I feel like a lot of the shows that we picked up, they were either shows I already liked, or were shows that I think turned out well. Okay. Whereas your thing is a little bit different because
a lot of these I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
So I can give you the ones I wrote down, other than Dragon Goes House Hunting.
Yep, go ahead and break my heart.
One is going to break your heart, but I feel like, again, it's a good show, but it's not quite what I was looking for, and I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it as much as probably what you hoped. The first one is Fooly Cooly.
Yep, that one breaks my heart.
Music's great, but it's just, I don't know. Everything else is not quite.
Didn't click for you.
Didn't click for me.
And it's so disappointing. It's in my top 10. I love that show.
I'm sorry. The other one is Devil's a Part-Timer. Again, it just didn't click with me.
It's a show I've seen like 4 times. I like it. I don't know. It doesn't break my heart as much as Fooly Cooly breaks my heart. But I also feel like sometimes when you watch something, it doesn't always click for you the same way every time that you watch it. Because there's another show. I don't know if it was a show or a movie. Oh, it was when you first watched Spirited Away. Yeah, it didn't click for you, and now you're like, oh wait, I get this. This is phenomenal.
Yeah, the first time I watched Spirited Away, it didn't click. I think the same thing was with Totoro. It didn't click with me, but second watching it clicked. They're both fantastic.
So we are, of course, open to for the most part, our least favorites being revising opinions if we ever watch again. Which I do want to watch the second season of Devil is a Part-Timer when it eventually comes out. Mm-hmm. So, if you want to watch that with me, and if that clicks for you, then maybe we'll reevaluate Devil's a Part-Timer season 1. But what was I going to say? I'm definitely going to watch Fooly Cooly at some point in my life again. I don't know if you'll be there or not. But Dragon Goes House Hunting I'm never going to watch again.
No, that was an awful idea.
I mean, you can't, when we're picking out ridiculous titles that we're going to cover in a season, of course you're going to pick the one that's called Dragon Goes House Hunting.
Well, it's like, you love dragons, so I'm like, well, give it a shot. It's about dragons.
Yeah. But it's
there might be like a thing where we could talk about like house hunters and like our experiences with house hunters.
Yeah.
But it was just so bad.
It's just so bad. If you say off in the comments that Dragon Goes House Hunting is the greatest show,
let us know if it gets better after episode 3.
But I am...
if it's anything like the first 3 episodes and you say it's good, well, you're wrong.
You have different tastes than us.
No. I know what you're saying. I feel like as a whole, I agree. People have different tastes. But in this situation, you're wrong. It's bad. And you should be ashamed.
I don't want to be that strong, but I'm glad that you are, because it's making me laugh. What else was I going to say? About that show. That damn show. It's just a disappointment to all dragon kind. And I get that that's the point, but you took something I love and smashed it to pieces.
Yep.
Is the dog outside again?
No, he's still outside.
Oh, okay. They're just standing right next to our driveway for some reason.
I'm sure they're just trying to figure out what to do.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's the neighbor's dog a couple houses down because I've seen them before.
Okay. I thought that the person standing next to them was the owner. But maybe not. Maybe it's just a concerned citizen that saw him.
Well, her sweatshirt says adopt with a dog paw, so I'm going to say she's a concerned citizen.
Jeez. Come for the anime talk. Stay for the
commentary.
Lost Dog commentary that's happening outside of our window right now.
Sorry, it's padding some time.
Yeah, we haven't reached frag time yet.
No.
Let me pick a show from our list of shows here that are actual, like something we actually covered on the show. That was my least favorite thing we covered.
Okay.
Oh, it's probably Frag Time.
Wow. Really? Frag Time?
Other shows we covered? Yes.
It's technically a movie.
Yeah. Well, movies are shows.
Okay.
Movies have show times. Therefore, they must be shows.
True. Good point. That's 1 point for you.
Went to the picture show. I stole that. I think Hank made that argument once.
Oh.
I don't know. Honorable mention to the Digimon the movie being a Frankenstein creation of 3 shorter Digimon short films, but a lot of fun. So,
okay.
Speaking of frag time, we haven't reached frag time yet, so I wanted to pad a little bit more.
Well, we got favorite anime.
Maybe that's my favorite bit. My favorite bit that we've done is that we call an hour frag time. Yeah. When we reach an hour on the show, we've reached frag time. That's how long that movie is.
For like close, we'll call it when we have frag time.
Yeah.
Don't always do it, but
a few episodes are under frag time, so
that's fine. So if we're ready, favorite anime we've watched so far.
Favorite anime
I think this consensus is one show, but do you have any like honorable mentions first?
So there's one show that's blown a lot of things out of the water. Mm-hmm. But I think there are shows that we covered that we knew we liked already. So going opposite of you, I've got Fooly Cooly on my favorite anime we watched.
Okay.
And it is, according to my list, my favorite anime that we've watched.
Okay.
Fooly Cooly. Now, I'm going to save the one that I think is the obvious answer here, and talk about some honorable mentions. Bunny Girl Senpai, which I know that you liked.
I did. Second watching, though, I don't like it as much.
Okay. But I know it was on your list. Mm-hmm. Ping Pong the Animation is up there.
That's on the list.
Bakano is up there.
That's on my list.
Now, we covered a lot of stuff, and a lot of them are good. But I'm like, okay, what's the obvious answer?
I have one more that's not obvious.
Okay,
but that's an honorable mention. It's Odd Taxi.
Odd Taxi, okay. And that was, I gave Odd Taxi in the most surprising, so I left it off of favorite anime. But I can see that, yeah. It's a really good show that we covered. So the obvious one, you would say it in unison?
Okay.
1. So...
On 3?
Right after 3. So
Gotcha.
the fourth beat is we say it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, Sunny Boy. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with us at all, you know that Sunny Boy blew our minds and we love it. And it quickly skyrocketed to our favorites.
Based on our list, the anime we like are just like slow mysteries or like fun capers, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, we definitely appreciate atmospheric shows. That much is for sure.
We love atmosphere.
I've got a soft spot for romance.
Okay.
Like my favorite show of all time right now is The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which is sort of a romance and sort of a slice of life and sort of a slice of sci-fi. Yeah. And Toradора's on my list. I really like Bunny Girl Senpai, though it's not on my list. There's just a lot of that's my weakness, you could say. My guilty pleasure is romance animes. So I can temper that with some knowledge that just because I really like it doesn't mean that it's objectively good, but I think there are some really good stuff out there. Did I say Toradora was on my list? Because that's like, I think objectively a really good show. Whereas something like Nagatoro, I think is a lot of fun, but and hits that part, especially when I go further in the manga on it, but is like, okay, but it's not the greatest anime of all time. It's not Steins Gate. Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure Steins Gate's the 4th greatest anime of all time according to my anime list.
No, it just got unseated by Spy X Family, so it's currently sitting at 5th last I heard. Okay. But that might kind of new shows come in, and then if they have 6 reviews and they're all positive, then that'll average out probably, or it'll prove to be a great show and it will stay averaged out there. So,
yeah, I mean, my favorite anime is it's all just atmospheric shows. Odd Taxi is just a mystery with a great atmosphere. Sunny Boy has just an incredible atmosphere. Ping Pong has that weird psychedelic sports anime, weird animation.
Oh yeah, Tatami Galaxy's got that too. That's an honorable mention.
And then Bakuno's probably your least atmospheric, but just the way that story's told and kind of like
fun.
There's nothing quite like it. I think it's the way it's told, and all the characters.
Yeah,
when you have that many characters, it's hard to like make so many good. And they just did it really well. So
yeah, I'm going through the list here. Some like honorable mentions, like I said, the Tatami Galaxy is honorable mention. I really like Hellsing Ultimate as well.
That one's fun. It's not your best though.
No, it's not.
I'd say if I were to add another one, it'd probably be Terror in Resonance.
Yeah, Terror in Resonance.
That one has some. It's not quite up there, but it's
got some beautiful moments.
Beautiful moments.
Princess Jellyfish has got a soft spot in our heart, but more in your heart than in mine.
Yeah.
Because we've said it before, that's the show. This is a recap episode, so we can say it again. That's the show that you realize, wait a minute, anime can be good?
That's the first anime I really kind of watched.
To completion and realize, oh, this is what this genre can be. And it's not this Naruto shit, that Bleach, whatever that
Naruto, Dragon Ball shit Johnny keeps watching.
I will stand by the original Dragon Ball as being great. There's some stuff where it drags. The Muscle Tower arc is a little long, but the original Dragon Ball is a lot of fun. Dragon Ball Z, oh man, loved it as a kid. It really drags on.
Oh yeah.
And even DBZ Kai is not the greatest, which is when they years later they're like, okay, let's take out a lot of the garbage filler. So like these fights that lasted 10 episodes now last 4 episodes.
That sounds better.
Yeah, but they didn't do that much work on the Boo saga, which is the only part of DBZ Kai that I watched. They also had the problem that when they aired, it was also like censored some. So like there would be scenes where it's like, Vegeta just got out of this healing tank, and we got some poorly drawn pants on him that you can tell was not in the original scene.
Gotcha.
And it's just like,
wouldn't show the peen, huh?
Yeah. So it's just like I got mad at it for that reason. That it's just like, they're just adding some poor censorship stuff. Like, or when people are dead and they're in the afterlife and they've got the halos, like, nope, that's just a glowing ball. It's like, okay, I guess we're taking out the religious symbolism, but
sorry, just with the commentary for what's happening outside. I think these girls are just Easter egg hunting right now.
What?
She's got an Easter egg basket. It's weird. Oh, she just like walked out of.
I cannot see.
Yeah, she walked out of periphery.
Yeah, there's our neighbor currently holding on to the dog that we know is not his dog because, and then there's just neighbor girls with Easter eggs. Biscuit. Okay, different people. I don't know what's going on with that dog. The one woman that we thought owned the dog is not there anymore.
Oh, really? Her car's there?
Yeah, the car is there. But our neighbor, who we know, well, I say our neighbor, we own my parents and I own the house that he lives in. It's part of our property. And therefore we know he doesn't have pets because we don't want pets on the property. At least not at this point. Or he'd have to like ask, and he's never asked, sort of thing.
Ask.
But that's a demo reference. Referencing demo, that's a fun bit that we do. Yeah. And another fun bit we do is reference the other guys.
I haven't done that in a while. It hasn't come up yet. It hasn't come up in a while.
Well, we're on season 2, so you're thinking what I'm thinking?
Thinking first start?
Call ourselves the Febreze brothers because we're so fresh in here. You're going to have to ask Lynn about... Oh, shouldn't have said his name. That's just a first name. You'll have to ask our neighbor about that dog, see if he...
We'll keep you posted.
We're not going to keep you posted.
Okay.
Because this will release so many weeks after we record it. We've got 2 episodes that are for sure coming out before this, and maybe an episode we'll record some other time that'll come out before this. So
this was just, let's get this recorded in case we need backup. Oh, she's back.
Okay.
Sorry, we're done here.
So the woman who we think owns the dog is back. Okay. We're still talking about our favorites and honorable mentions.
Yeah, so we got distracted. You got any last thoughts? Is there any shows you're like wanting us to cover next season?
Ooh, shows wanting to cover next season. Well, I've presented shows to you several times, so I still have those shows.
You're talking about like the 12 episode ones? Or
I'm talking when we chose to do Fuka, I gave you a bunch of options. Yeah. So things I would like to cover in the future. They're more like mid-range stuff that's like 7 to 8. Because I don't want to talk about our favorite shows because I feel like I don't want to talk about Steins Gate. We wouldn't do it justice.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about Fate Zero. We wouldn't do it justice.
We're talking Fate Zero.
Yeah. I mean, I want to eventually.
I bought that Blu-ray for a reason.
Okay.
That was a business expense. I put that on the company card.
We don't have a company card.
As in my card.
I want to cover it, but I want to be better at it. I want to do a good job with it.
I kind of want to bring back I buy a random anime DVD off a website and we watch it.
That was what we did with Frag Time, right?
Yeah. And Ride Your Wave. I bought those both at the same time.
Do we want to bring back old retired bit of we watch one of those 30 by 30 or 30 for 30, 33 Maybe. For 30 DVDs? But like I want to cover like some more like mid-range stuff just that could provoke interesting conversations. That's also only like 12 episodes. So things like Angel Beats.
Okay.
Golden Boy could be a fun one we cover.
Okay.
I want to talk about Paranoia Agent.
Okay.
I want to talk about Inspector.
Kind of just want to finish the Satoshi Kon works, I guess.
We've got like his short films to watch, right? Is that it?
Oh, and then Millennium Actress.
Oh, well, we didn't cover Paranoia. We watched Millennium Actress. We didn't cover Perfect Blue or...
That's true.
We just talked about them.
I want to watch Millennium Actress.
That's fine. We're allowed to just watch movies because we want to watch them.
It's the Fate Stay Night movies. Because we haven't watched the third one yet. We just realized yesterday we could buy it on Apple.
Yeah, so we're going to be watching that. I don't know if we're going to do that tonight or tomorrow or when we're going to do that, but it's coming up. We'll watch it. We watched the other two in theaters, but with COVID and stuff, it was hard to justify going to see the third one.
Yeah.
But hey, we have reached frag time at this point, too.
Also, I think the owner of the dog came.
Okay, yep. There's another person here. Update on the dog. He's guy showing up with a truck. Hasn't been there before. Dog is getting in the truck.
So either it's the owner or that dog's getting stolen.
But hopefully, happy home for the dog.
Yeah. He was pretty excited when he saw the guy, so I'm going to assume that's the owner.
That's all right. We did update you on the dog.
Boom.
Mission successful. It's got a happy ending to this.
You know, I didn't think this episode turned out great until this happened.
I don't know. I thought the episode was fine. It's not of us just babbling.
Yeah.
It's just what we expected it to be. We wanted to get an hour out of this conversation.
Come for the Come for the
anime. Stay for the thrilling conclusion of the dog saga.
Yeah.
Can that be the name of this episode? Anime Territory, Season 2, Episode 1, The Dog Saga.
Sure. Something like that. We'll call
it. We should just... We'll put in the description. It's just a retrospective of stuff we've covered since we started the show. And then we get distracted by a lost dog outside of our window.
Okay. We should end it.
All right.
Well, so, this has been Anime Territory. Thank you for listening. Again, if you haven't watched all of these episodes or shows that we discuss, go watch them.
Or listen to them. It's not a video. It's on YouTube, but it's not a video.
I'm going to go watch the shows, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Go watch the shows.
Listen to our episodes. You can listen to them at almost any podcast service. Anchor, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify. Those are your main ones. Also, we post it on YouTube under Anime Territory.
Yep.
And then sometimes we stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/DementedGoku. Don't do that a whole lot, but we'll probably try to get a little better at that.
Yeah, we got like one more Chrono Trigger stream, I think, in us.
Probably do this tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah, we could stream. Let's do it.
But yeah.
The
follow us on Twitter at anime_territory. Anime_territory.
Yep.
I think I got everything.
Yeah. So Twitter was the last thing I was waiting for you to say. So you are now leaving the Anime Territory.
Goodbye.